All right, so today's video, we're watching a Gold 2 support on PC, playing Kiriko and Ana on Nabani. They say, hi, this game was incredibly frustrating, mainly because it was looking so good for us in the start of the game, and as we almost capped third point with 5.5 minutes on the clock. But then things started getting rough, and my tank started blaming me in game chat, asking me what I'm doing. I know I definitely did not play well at this game by any means, and this was definitely a bad game for me, but I still don't think this game was totally on me. My DPS started complaining about our tank at the start of the second round, saying he's playing into counters and not providing any help with flankers, and then my tank started flaming them back, saying they are throwing. People kept going AFK to type, then the tank also kept complaining about our Mercy going Mercy because Mercy sucks and she's a throw pick, but I felt our Mercy was actually playing very well, talking to the DPS who were popping off at some points. I would appreciate any feedback you have for me to climb, as I have been in plat for a while and just recently dropped down to gold after going on a major loss streak. Thanks for watching. By the way, love your cheater spectating videos. Please keep making more. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't absorb any of that information. Sounds like there was a bunch of stuff where they had a good start and then everybody got mad at each other. He said I read it very fast. I just read very fast. Can I rap? I can rap, yes. Can I rap well? No. As in, like, could I speak really fast or, like, follow along with, like, a really fast rap? Yes. Will it sound like I'm tone deaf and have no idea what I'm doing? Yes. All right. Kiriko's pretty good after the changes, like the recent buffs.
That one's confirmed.
Come to me for heals. Draw strength from nature.
Okay, so far, just kind of a normal start. Your Winston dives in, gets rolled.
Feels like sunlight, huh?
I want you to practice a little bit of your projectile aim, because I think you're trying to hit scan a little bit. Okay, I don't know, maybe it was just a bad, unlucky go. I think that's maybe we're like, you ever play projectile and you start missing your shot? Even with hit scan, you start missing your shot, and then you kind of lose track of it, and you try to, like, compensate for the misses and just keep missing. So that's probably what just happened there. So, first of all, I need to pause for a second. You just said there's no tone in rapping. I can assure you that if I rap the way that, like, if I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm gonna sing you a song. We're gonna play this music in my thong. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, that's, I can rap that, but it's not gonna sound good. You know what I mean?
Nice to know you have my back.
I could use some assistance. Keep the payload rolling.
All right. So far, I have not. I got to do a better job paying attention here. All right. Don't be afraid to save your Winston there. I know your Winston's going to get out, but it's okay to go in there. I think sometimes, and this happens a lot, where I think sometimes people are afraid to dive in with their Winston. A lot of really good Kirikos that I've seen, at least, will go in with their Winston in those situations because the bubble alone will save the Winston, and you can kind of, like, make your Winston go from being this, like, oh, they have 20% HP to basically being unkillable, and the other team can just fall over. So don't be afraid sometimes to go in with your Winston. I know it feels like a risky play, and maybe sometimes it is, but I see a lot of success with a Kiriko who can do a well-timed, like, play with their Winston going in. Well, you're not going to TP punt it in front of 5 if your Winston is dropping a bubble. Like, that's the first part, right?
But the payload's heading out.
I mean, you can play tank however you want. I'm just saying, you know, you can have your Kiriko go in. Right? Every tank has different playstyles. Like, sometimes you have the tank right there who just holds their shield up as Ryan. Sometimes you have the Reinhardt who charges on cooldown. Everybody has different playstyles. See, like, right there, I think that's a situation where you go in with your Winston again because you would have saved your Winston. So, like, it's actually, I'm kind of glad we just had that discussion, right? Because the Winston just dove in, and because you didn't make that play we talked about, you could have actually Suzu'd your Winston. The Winston would have had full HP with the Winston ult. Instead of, like, your Winston having a full HP ultimate that can basically distract them away from point, and then you can go back to your team, and maybe you win the team fight, you have Soldier ult, etc. Your Winston actually takes, like, a huge part of that high noon, and then falls over, like, a couple seconds later. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to make those plays, and, like, the way I always say is this. If you never make a play, you're never gonna know if a play works or doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, like, 10 times in a row, you can go, you know what? I've tried it. Maybe in gold that doesn't work as well. And then you can kind of go back to the drawing board and how you're going to approach that. But until you have to make those plays to learn from those plays. And so far, twice you haven't made that play. Just see what happens.
Personne n'échappe.
I'm on fire. My gift to you.
Fine with that, Cleanse. You can... Yeah, I was going to say, you can Kitsune if you wanted to. I'm okay with that. You know they use a lot of ults the fights prior, and you knew they swapped to Ryan, so they don't have Shatter.
Just needed a dash of mischief.
I'm fine with that. Good sequence. So this is an example of just being aggressive and making a play even down in numbers. I like that play. Good job. Good job recognizing what they did. Good ultimate. I have no problems with that at all.
Carried on the wind.
So far, it's been a pretty clean game so far. So I guess, like, okay, 100% on you. I want you to think about positioning. I just want you to see this because I think I want to start showing this to people about positioning. So let's go to the point of view of the other Widow right now. Okay, so watch this. So you're over here shooting at whoever's over there, right? I want you to see. This is your positioning. You see the problem with that? On your screen, you're like, oh, I'm attacking the Reaper. I'm helping my team. But you also need to understand angles and where they're looking at you from. So whether this is bronze or top 500, this is going to happen if you peek like this, right? Like, look at the angle you're shooting from. So let's watch the whole sequence now. This is what they see. You're running in a straight line trying to kill a Reaper. So just be careful of when you start to engage those shots. I like you going for the shots, but I also want you to think about where your position is at and how you can better approach that, okay? Are you shooting at Ghost right there? Or did I miss something? What's...
Sniper.
What rank is this gold?
Restoring balance.
Clean bubblegum next to the 100 bits? Thank you.
Let me balance you out.
Okay, once again, I need you to think about your position. If you know where the Widow is, do your best to get out of sight line. Obviously, you watch me get rolled by Widow all day long, and this is going to happen sometimes. But I think these have been avoidable situations with the Widow. You can also teleport to your teammates, but don't just sit there and like give them kind of like these free picks on angles. I just think you need to be a little bit more careful on that. It almost feels like to me you're just kind of like focused on whatever's in front of you, and because you tunnel vision so hard, you assume that because you're like, I'm not shooting at the Widow or looking at the Widow, then they don't see me either. You need to take that into account into Overwatch, that everybody on their team can see what you're doing, and that's why positioning is very key. Make sure you're always hiding behind walls, make sure you're understanding who you're going against, make sure you know where they're at. The more you know, the easier it's going to be to win those games. I've seen you get picked off twice here, and I think both times they were avoidable.
Payload stuck. Get it moving.
I haven't seen that too much on YouTube, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Thanks for the touch-up. Watashi ga mamoru.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
I am fully focused. My gift to you. Let the Kitsune guide you.
I mean, okay. I kind of let that go. I'm not really upset with any of that. You did a Kitsune at a good spot. Your teammates just lost the team fight. I am getting a little bit confused as to, like, why your team gets a little bit angry at a certain point. But I think that was fine. Like, you just, like, you got out-dueled. Sometimes you just, like, lose a team fight, and it's a good play. Sometimes you make a bad play, and you win the team fight.
Behind.
What honest skin is this? Do I have this? I feel like I've never seen that one. That's kind of cool. Oh, I just saw that. Why did you go into the Rhine? I just being a little bit aggressive as Kiriko. I think we all kind of fall into that with Kiriko sometimes. Like, sometimes I don't even need to point out, like, don't go into the Rhine. Like, you can see that happening, you know? Ooh, should have hit.
Come here to get healed. I've got you.
Okay, I'm going to show you something here. The strength of Ana is the same strength you have as Widow. You play further back. Do you see their Ana, as right now, running into your team like this? Take that same approach. Whether you're attack on defense, set up in position. Now, like, you go somewhere like here, a little bit safer. If the Rhine shatters you, even, well, because what Rhine shatter only goes, what, 195 meters now? If you get shattered back here, at least you're out of position, right? So I would really recommend playing further back. And you said they had like card anxiety. I can help alleviate some of that a little bit. This is going to help people a lot. Unless it's overtime. If your team wins the team fight, the cart will push and you'll win. Straight up. You'll win. So you don't have to worry about the card at that point. You need to worry about winning the team fight, not giving them a free pick. You have a minute 22 on the clock. You have plenty of time. The worst thing you want to do is give them a free pick. That's what keeps them in these team fights consistently. So you got to be really careful with that, okay? Do you notice how sometimes in top 500 push, there'll be like a minute where nobody's pushing the bot? And it's because the team fights become more priority, and you're worrying about winning the team fight, knowing you'll get 50 meters on that bot if you just win the team fight, rather than trying to like do like this like, you know, heavyweight matchup on the cart, like slamming against each other and just hoping for the best. You basically win the team fight, and then you win the objective. If you improve your positioning, you will see good results. Your games will start to feel a little bit better because your positioning is so much better. You'll start to realize that, oh, I can play my hero now that I'm not taking 6,000 damage from 6 different ways. Because why? Only one person on their team can see you at that angle, and they can't get you. So now you get to play a lot better. Now you're seeing yourself pop off more. Now you're gaining that confidence that, oh, I can pop off. I can make these plays happen, because you're positioning yourself in spots where they can't just kill you over and over again. Positioning is something that whether you're in bronze, or whether you're a top 500 player, or whether you're an OWCS player, that is something you can always work on and will make you a better player regardless. Okay, I like this approach, taking the high ground stairs. You also have new high ground stairs too if you want to take those. On the right side. I don't know the difference. Oh, you fell off the high ground right away. Wonderful. Okay.
Taking care of you.
All right, is this where the Mauga starts complaining about everything? Yep, 100%. Are they typing like are they writing a novel?
To my position. Stand up straight.
Oh, were they writing a novel? I don't understand. It's like a thesis? I'd say it was a 200-word essay, but we know that can take weeks. The Reaper made a good play.
We're outnumbered. Be careful. Down or not at all. Attack. Don't fret. I see you.
I mean, your team just got rolled at the end there, but like, I'll be real with you. This is what I saw. Rather than just like group up for like a team fight, your team spent 3 minutes slamming into their team and expecting like the result to work eventually. I think eventually you just need to like slow down for a second and just wait. Setup's fine here. So now this is kind of at the point where your teammates are all mad at each other. We kind of saw when Mauga started like typing the thesis. That's a Reaper. That's a fine reaction for now. I'm okay with that. You should have it up. Yeah. Believe it or not, a lot of like Kirikos will forget this. You can wall climb. So if your reaction is to end up just standing still on the ground, that's not going to be the best play here. Do not give them opportunities to get a free pick on you when you already know you're going to be slightly out of position here. Go wall climb somewhere. Go climb up this wall. Go do anything besides stay on the low ground like that. Give your cooldowns that extra second. Boom. You swift step away. You're good to go. So just remember that wall climb does exist for Kiriko. I think sometimes it's forgotten about. I've been down this road before with Kiriko, where like I go and make a play, and then they get me, and I go, why did I just wall climb? Like if I just wall climb, that would have been 10 times easier. So just get that in your mindset of like, I need to worry about surviving for this like extra second to get my cooldown back up. Let's go wall climb somewhere. Let's go do it. You'd be surprised at how where using your mobility to survive basically guarantees you survive. Where people will lose track of you. They won't be able to get the shots on you as quickly. And if they kill you doing that, well, they're gonna get you regardless.
Judge Tyson. What's up? Powered up. Nice.
Ooh, that was unlucky. I'm gonna be honest with you. That did not go the way I thought it was on that TP. I thought you were going right to the Winston, but I think it like went to the Mercy instead, so you got caught in the air. That was thankfully you got out, but that I wouldn't have blamed you if that happened. That was just super unlucky. You go to your Winston if you want to. Don't be afraid to cleanse the Winston there either for a second. It gives them a little bit of survivability. Okay, you did it. You ended up doing it. That's okay. Just so you know, for anybody on Kiriko nowadays, you cannot cleanse somebody off the ground when they're shattered. You can cleanse them to survive, but you can't cleanse them to wake them up off of a shatter, just to make that clear. Yeah, you can time it to prevent the shatter on a cleanse, but like, that Lucio, that was bad positioning. How would I buff Mercy? I don't really...
Carried on the wind.
I don't play enough Mercy. I can't tell you. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all I got. I don't play enough Mercy to be able to give that feedback. There's some, you know, really, really good like Mercy streamers who have like a lot of feedback on that. I just don't know what Mercy would need to feel better for players who play Mercy. Right? Increase the healing, maybe. Maybe make the movement cooldowns feel better. Make them feel easier to survive in certain situations. I don't know. So, you know.
Feels like sewing, huh?
So far, I still feel like you're playing fine. Also, I don't think your Mercy's playing as like. Yeah, this is the problem. And this goes back to what I said. Listen, you definitely have a lot of things to clean up, and we've talked about it, but I feel like what we're watching now in real time is you have a tank who got really mad, has decided that everybody else is the problem and is not playing the game actually, when in reality, they're the ones that are hacking up the game by not playing the game because they have decided that you're the problem and your teammates are the problem and not them. They're just standing still, they're typing, they're worried about all this stuff. Just play the game, go win. Y'all have a great opportunity to win this Nambani and not lose it, and you just spend the whole time getting angry. Like, yeah, like typing in the chat, going, you guys suck. Ugh. Like, play it out. I promise you, it's easy to hold on second and third Nambani if you play together.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
I would TP out of there if I was you, yeah. That was a... Real talk, that was a rough ult. You were down in numbers. You want to retake with that ult, and you can definitely get back in time, so I'd rather see you use your Kitsune here to lead into a good retake rather than trying to win on the tail end of this fight. Maybe it does work out. Like, for example, your Mercy got a res, pop Valk, they're Rhine fed. Maybe this gives you opportunity. But I definitely want to see you get in the mindset of where would Kitsune be good here, and I think on the retake would be much more effective than popping it where you just did. Because the only people who can benefit from it were basically you and your Winston if your Winston had stayed, but they already got out. Okay? Okay.
Thanks.
Your teammates won it, so it worked out.
Here, I can heal you.
Okay. Sometimes it just works. I feel like it's okay, though, that cleanse. Now back away, now play position. Remember, they have a Widow with walls, so they know where you're at. So your goal is to make sure your Mercy gets the res off, and then survive for a bit. Now you have all your cooldowns left, so you're going to want to maybe use this to help your back line, go in with your Winston. Either or is fine. I think that cleanse was a little bit ambitious, because you could have just healed the Junkrat the way that you just did. So be careful of that.
Like a gentle rain.
It would have been nice to have the cleanse now for Winston, right? You see what I'm saying?
I'm here.
I mean, you're just getting kills there. Nothing you can do about that. One thing I will say, you need to clean up a little bit on your mechanics. And what I mean by that is, I'm not talking about your aim. I feel like you're missing a lot of like free heals. And like when you TP, you get lost for a second. It's, the way to clean that up is just to kind of, when you're playing Kiriko with your shots, lead your shots. It's a projectile. When you're healing, aim more towards your team. When you TP to somebody, try to like look at where you're TPing to as you do it so you understand where you're at. It's like when you TP, you get lost. So just like be like, okay, if I'm TPing up to the high ground, this is where I'm gonna end up. I think sometimes you just like TP and then you just don't remember where you TP'd to, and then you're just like, where am I? So it just, that helps a little bit too. Good morning, good morning. Server admin always takes over sometimes, right?
Restoring balance. Thanks for the heal. I'm with you. Soothing your wounds. Stop the payload from moving.
All right. You can use your ult here if you need to, if you want to counter. Yep, I'm fine with that. That's a good counter. Totally fine with that. Rank, is this gold? This is a gold rank. Hey! Good ult. Totally okay with that. Nice job. Now, in theory, you should be able to win this next team fight easily. Now, I'm curious because this tank is also the one that's said that your DPS has been, or your DP has been arguing with your DPS and then calling, like, blaming your Mercy. You have a free team fight win right here with this alone. Okay, you gotta start to predict damage a little bit more there. That was kind of on you at that point. Like, you could see that was gonna happen. If your Malga wants to go up in the high ground and flank like that and then go out of position, that's on them. But this Malga should ult too. There's the ult, but it might be a little bit too late. I think they waited a little too long. Maybe not. Your Mercy might be able to res you. Okay, now you can heal. Oh, huge cleanse. Nice cleanse. Good job.
Uh-oh, the payload's moving.
Isn't it amazing that the player that was getting angry and sitting there typing the whole time is also the reason why you didn't end up holding the point at the end there? Isn't that great? Yeah, you see what just happened? The Mauga gets healed up to reasonable HP. What's the Mauga's decision here? Rather than hold the cart in a 4v3, make sure nothing happens, the Mauga runs on the flank. And then tells everybody that it's your teammate's fault. Anyway, dude, this goes back to the classic. I have no idea why y'all got angry at each other and started going back and forth about this person's fault, that person's fault. This was a team effort loss. Everybody could have played better, and you still probably could have won this game, considering that you were about to have Valk tire. You were going to be about 50% all charge if you win this team fight, which I think you would have, and you probably win based off of what they have. Instead, the player that complained the most about the team and was sitting there typing the whole time ends up going off the cart by running away from it when they're the one hero that can stay on the cart pretty easily right there against what they're running. And then you lose the game. For you personally, I want you to work on, if you have like a Winston, going in with your Winston and being willing to be more aggressive. If you want to go for more like flank plays and shots, go for it. I'm not going to try to change your play style completely. Remember, you have wall climb. Remember that when you aim at people with your heels, try to aim more towards them. I think maybe you're thinking that like it's going to go to them and kind of auto go to them. You definitely want to aim at them a little bit more. And just remember when you TP to kind of look at where you're TPing so you don't get as like lost when you do. I know it's a lot there, but there's a lot of small things you can clean up on, and most importantly, fix your positioning. Don't let a Widow get a free kill on you. That could be a game changer. That could be the difference between your team snowballing on third point with a 3.5 minute timer and you just win this game easily. But you got this. You can easily climb. I think you have moments that are good, and I think that if you can clean up in even 2 of the areas I mentioned, you'll be good to go. All right, you got this. You absolutely got this. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That's where you do that. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat below the webcam, also stream on YouTube, so stop by if you haven't. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day /night.